I was not surprised by the fan reaction to the first movie because I knew from the moment it was pitched to me by Phil Lord and Chris Miller that this movie was going to be something really special. They walked me through the whole thing maybe a couple years before anyone else was able to see the movie, and I just was blown away at the inventiveness, the creativity, this sort of genre-bending animated movie that would speak to children but also to adults, that had these really amazing themes about creativity and stifling creativity. I knew it was going to be huge, and I honestly could not believe that I was going to get to be a part of it. Since the epic events on Taco Tuesday some 5 years ago, Bricksburg is no longer the same. It is now Apocalypseburg, and alien invaders from the Sistar system have been destroying the city faster than it can be rebuilt and kidnapping all of Emmet's friends. And so it's a very dark world that we enter. Despite that, Emmet is still very positive. He's still very much the good morning Emmet guy. And so he and Lucy, you know, they're trying to live a life together, but she's a little frustrated with him that he's not coming to terms with just how bleak things are around him. He's still optimistic and cheerful. It was a lot of fun to play two extremely different characters personality-wise. They're just different all the way around. Their view of the world, the sound of their voice, and their look is all very different. And it's really nice. It creates a good friendship and a good team between a guy who's really tough and was hardened by being left under a dryer for 4 years, and an Undar of the Dryar system. He's basically been alone for years and hardened his heart and became very tough. And Emmet is the exact opposite, and as you'll see when the movie unfolds, they have a very strong connection. And essentially Emmet learns from him to be tough, and he is given the opportunity to not be alone with his relationship with Emmet, and that all gets sort of flipped on its head as the movie moves on. Emmet Brickowski's like, good morning, Bricksburg. It's a little higher. It's kind of like I'm Emmet, and it's cheerful and insightful, exciting, and optimistic. So that's him. And so Rex Dangervest is a little tougher and a little flippant, irreverent, indifferent, doesn't really care what people think about him, has a touch of John Wayne in him. And you'll notice he's laughing half the time he's talking. He's kind of laughing like he's cheered up by how dumb you are, that kind of thing. And so, like, those two characters, those are two different voices, and I'm just thrilled I get to do not only one but two voices in my favorite animated movie. We've got two additional characters in this film, played by two amazing actresses, Tiffany Haddish and Stephanie Beatriz. They're playing Sweet Mayhem by Stephanie and Queen Whatever Wanabe by Tiffany. And so these are two formidable characters to Emmet through the course of this film. Sweet Mayhem is one of the toughest characters. She's like Boba Fett of the Lego world. She's so tough. And then Queen Whatever Wanabe does these amazing musical numbers, and you get the sense that she's a little bit evil. You really polish these types of movies a lot, and they're really changing and just getting better and better. And so by the time I finally saw the movie, I had forgotten half of the things that I'd recorded. And also I didn't know what the world was going to look like. And so it's a rare opportunity in a film, in any film, for an actor to sit down and watch a film that they participated in and be swept up in the movie. You know, usually you don't get to watch your movies as an audience member. You'll always watch them from a critical standpoint of somebody who is part of the creative process. But in this movie, sitting down to watch the movie for the first time, I really got swept up. And I was there with my son, and he watched it and I watched it, and we really were just kind of blown away at the film. And I was swept up in the journey. I forgot that I was supposed to be like giving notes on the movie. I just was watching a movie that I felt like I had never seen before, and that's really rare for an actor to be able to watch a movie that they're in that way.
Hey there, here's today's Daily Fact. Now, Edward Norton actually punches Jared Leto in the Fight Club. While most of the fighting in the Fight Club were rehearsed, Edward Norton actually managed to punch Jared Leto in the face during one of the movie's fight scenes. Ed Norton swung a little too wide and knocked me in the chin, admitted Leto. Click here below to subscribe or over here for more great content.